So let's take a little history, a little trip back in time, specifically in 1997 when this game came out. Back then, the VooDoo Graphics cards were all the rage, and this was one of the main games to showcase their effects. This game was developed by Delphine Software International and published by Electronic Arts. This game is pretty much an arcade motor racer that really signified the 90s. You could even see by its opening. Just listen to this.
Enter your name.
Now, if that tune does not signify that this game is from the 90s, I don't know what will. So after you enter your name, it's time to start playing. I'd recommend going into solo mode, either practice or championship, and try out a few of the tracks. From the base game, there are 4 tracks that you start with, but 8 tracks altogether. After the track is selected, you go pick a bike. It could be automatic or manual transmission depending on what you want. So when you first play this game, you'll get a good feel of the controls, which is very simple, so nothing is too complex about this game, which is one of the key features that I love about it. Visually speaking, the game took full advantage of the VooDoo graphics cards of the day. There was virtually no other way to play this game. But enough about the presentation and the VooDoo graphics and all that. How is the actual gameplay? At its core, Moto Racer is an arcade racing game. So don't try to come into this game expecting it to be Forza or anything else like that. This is pure arcade fun, and it was a staple of the late 90s. Now, the racing itself is very fun. It's very high paced, adrenaline pumping, and accessible to everyone. Now, as simple as this game is, this game actually does have strategy. Its strategy is in the form of popping wheelies. When you pop a wheelie, it gives a temporary speed boost. Using these boosts at a certain time can result in a win or loss depending if it was used correctly. I like this since it makes the game feel a lot more unique without overcomplicating things. Now, in Moto Racer, there are 2 types of tracks that you'll be going on. You'll face the normal everyday tracks, which you use speed bikes, regular motorcycles, and you also have dirt tracks where you use, of course, dirt bikes. While there's nothing particularly wrong with these types of tracks, I prefer to stay away from them since they're a little bit harder to get used to. Another notable difference between these tracks and the regular tracks is that you're able to do tricks and go airborne with just the press of a button. While the tricks don't give you any benefits gameplay wise, they are cool to look at. So when you play championship mode, you have to come into the top 3 in each race in order to progress to the next one. From here you unlock new tracks and new modes as well. The first mode you unlock is reverse mode, which pretty much is all the tracks that you just raced in reverse. Now once you beat championship mode and reverse mode, what's next is pocket bike mode, which pretty much shrinks all the bikes in the game to pocket bikes, mini bikes, whatever you want to call them. Now here the bikes feel much different, and it takes a little time to get used to as the turning seems to be much looser and you have a little bit less control, but the bikes are flying at, it feels like 300 miles per hour. It's enjoyable, but it's not something I'll go back to. I'll play it once or twice here and there, but it's not something that I like to do. I like the normal bikes in their normal size. And that's pretty much it. Sure, the game doesn't have 100 unlockables or any customization at all, but there's something about it. It's kind of what LGR said in his review. It's a reminder of simpler times when games were meant to be fun, not with crazy storytelling or with celebrity voice actors, but with pure fun. Just for that alone, it makes me play this game time and time again. And that's why my final score for this game is an 8 out of 10. There's really nothing to complain about. I wish there were more tracks and possibly some unlockable bikes, but honestly it's really hard to get mad at this game. This game wasn't meant to be this crazy 600 vehicles with a million ways to paint your motorbikes. It was meant for short and small bursts, and it fulfills that mission entirely. You can get this game on goodoldgames.com and enjoy this very solid title. As always, I hope you've enjoyed this video. This is Pow3rh0use signing off.